Yo. What is up, everybody? Welcome back, Triple Nexus episode 22. I actually wrote it right on the live this time because I remembered to fucking do it. Yo, we got a lot to talk about in this goddamn episode. We have a lot to talk about. But first, I'm Nerd Papa, that's ND, that's Burns, and then you might recognize a fourth face that's with us right here. GolferGareBear, I have no idea where he's showing up in terms of like where my head is on here, but for y'all, you can see him. He's obviously the person who's not been here. That's our guest for today. Listen, if you have not seen his stuff on TikTok, I recommend very heavily to go look up GolferGareBear right now. He talks about in-depth political applications of One Piece, real world, what it means. He has a whole entire series about are Marines good, kind of relating it to ACAB in real life, and can you be good if you hold up that system that the Marines do individually. And he literally goes down to every single person, Garp, Fujitora, Haki, all of them. You guys go check out his content. It's amazing. GolferGareBear, what's up, man? How you doing?
It's good, folks. Appreciate you guys having me on. Big step, dude. I started making TikToks like 3 months ago, and I'm here on the Triple Nexus, brother. You know, feels good. I really appreciate you guys.
It's fucking fire. It's because your content's doing the right shit, bro. You're sending the right message. We love that over here. Okay, so we will absolutely get to the political implications of One Piece, of even Naruto. There's been some debates on TikTok this past week and all that shit. So we will talk about it, but there's something we gotta talk about right now, bro. There's something we gotta talk about. The One Piece 1152 brief spoilers just came out, and I tell y'all, if you're not about brief spoiler culture or spoiler culture at all, please skip past this part of the podcast because I'm not trying to have it spoiled for anybody. But holy fuck. This man's Oda is on a generational run. The past couple chapters that he's dropped for Elbaf, he's like, yo, I'm trying to end this and I'm putting all the lore into One Piece right now. The chapter, holy shit, we got what the Holy Knights can get hurt by, which is now advanced Conquerors Haki, is what people are calling it on fucking Twitter.
Advanced.
A step above, which could hurt people who are immortal. Then we got Shanks lore and the fact that he was on Elbaf Island when the whole thing happened with Loki. We got confirmation, finally, that King Harold is a bitch-ass traitor, which we've been saying on the Triple Nexus podcast for literally 6 months. We've been saying that for the entirety of Triple Nexus's run, we have been on the King Harold is a fucking traitor train. And then what else? And Shanks had the fucking mark of the abyss on his arm, bro. Like, come on. All right.
And then the stuff with Rocks. Don't forget that.
Oh, yeah, and Rox was murdered by the world government. Again, Oda's going down the list of things and lore to keep, and then we're going into the Loki backstory right now. All right, I'm going around the circles. Everybody, give me your first thoughts about reading the spoilers. GolferGareBear, you're our guest. We're going to start with you, bro. Come on now.
What a retcon. What a fantastic retcon to leave that open-ended for as long as possible. Before any of this all went down with the Holy Knights, everyone had their theories as to why Shanks, a guy with Conqueror's Haki, Armament Haki, Observation Haki, gets his arm eaten by a mere sea beast that Luffy hits with one punch. I don't know. I'm glad to finally hit the end of that. I'm glad to know that information. And I think I'm most excited when it comes to having another long extended backstory. It feels like old Oda, we would have been still in that room with the fake sun god a long time ago. We are on a breakneck pace. I would appreciate a little backstory on Loki that isn't just them talking about it. I want to see what went down. I want to see how he interprets the Rocks, pirates going down together. I want to see how that whole group disbands. I want to see all of that. I want to see every little bit of it, and then I want to come back and watch Luffy beat the fuck out of some people. That's all I want.
Dude, Egghead and Elbaf pace has been like next level. Just all of the lore that's been included and the fights, just like to an infinite degree better than what One Piece manga has done. Burns, bro, give me your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the briefs?
Yeah, well, you on the what?
On the briefs.
Oh, I thought you said on the Marines. I was like, we're not on that shit yet. We're not on that. You called it advanced Conqueror's Haki. I just assumed that Gaban had better Haki than Luffy.
I'm crying. No, it's a step.
I swear to God, that's exactly what I assumed. That Luffy's Conqueror's Haki just wasn't strong enough.
It's a step above Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Like, it's another... They didn't really fully explain it yet, but Gaban says it's a step above Advanced Conqueror's Haki in order to be able to earn it, and he was like, some other people on your crew could do it, and Sanji's like, yeah, it's me, and he goes, nah, it's Zoro, bro. Back off, little bro. Like, it's not you. I'm talking about Zoro.
I made a video today, bro, hating so bad on Sanji, bro.
That shit was so fucking funny. He's like, not you, little bro. Get out of my face. So there's that. So it's another step above, which means like, yo, Kaido. We got implications of Kaido and everything too. Like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Okay. Oh my god. And whatchamacallit, with Shanks' arm getting ripped off by the CBs, I remember seeing Reddit posts of people literally going back to check to see if he had a Mark of Darkness and not seeing anything, and saying like it was complete BS. So the fact that we're getting told about this now is actually like crazy. I was confused, but when Gare called it a retcon, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what.
Oh yeah. But like to me, dude, that's more impressive. And I know a lot. Of
Yeah, no, it's not like the
a lot of
hugest
One
thing.
Piece-
Right, retcon is not a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of One Piece fans get so mad when they hear that. I think that's so impressive to be able to give your story that kind of openness to be like, yo, I can actually add in shit as I go along that fits perfectly.
Yeah, because it didn't contradict anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And the fact, also the fact that he waited this long, like he waited until it was like a perfect time to come up with the coolest possible idea before integrating it. Because if he did it like 10 years ago, like yeah, maybe he could have come up with a cool idea, but would it have been as cool as what we have right now? Probably not.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Andy, what are your thoughts on the brief spoilers?
First of all, I think it's like you guys already talked about. I think it's like super cool to see that we're having even new levels of lore. Like we're getting even advanced Conquerors Haki. So even like new levels of stuff. And is that going to be like the kind of Haki? Because we know that God's Knights have Emu's power because they signed the contract. Does that mean that like this is like some like divine kind of Haki? That only this kind of divine Haki can hurt like gods, like Emu and people who have like god level abilities? Because we know that Zoro is like King of Hell. We know that Luffy is Sun God, so maybe it's people with like some kind of like supernatural ties, something like that, can affect it. Also, something else I thought was really cool too is that we know that Shanks' like observation Haki allows him to see the future. So the whole thing with him allowing the sea beast to eat his arm off, is it because when Luffy ate the devil fruit, he was able to see somewhat into the future and know that like now is the time, like the time that like Roger was like waiting for, and now is the time. So that's why he waited until that moment that Luffy had consumed the devil fruit to let his arm get taken off. Maybe there's going to be some kind of connection in that regard. And then on top of that, the whole thing with rocks that we already discussed about in the God Valley episode. We talked about how the world government is always rewriting and changing the story, which is why they don't want people keeping like accurate track of history, so they can rewrite it and change it whenever they want. So the fact that the world government is the one that killed Rocks, does this have something to do with, I don't know, potentially the fact that Rocks was working with them, and then Rocks like switched up and wanted to do his own thing, and they were like, yeah, little bro, you're not doing that shit. Who knows? Like, I don't know. There's like so much open-endedness, but again, it's giving us all these like bits and pieces that are now connecting like all these aspects of the story that originally that we didn't know, and now we're getting to be able to see it. So I think that's really awesome.
That's fire. Yeah, I think the back to the whole Rocks thing. It could be Rocks was Blackbeard before Blackbeard. A lot of people have been figuring out or trying to figure out who Lafitte is within the One Piece. I've seen a bunch of like theories. I think Lafitte kind of like Zetsu vibes, but not really. Lafitte is the person. You know how he kind of appears places, like he appeared at Marie Joie and everybody was like, where'd you come from? Like he appears places and nobody knows. Like I think he is commissioned by the world government to be able to go back and forth to the abyss whenever he wants, that sort of underground prison. I think he was the person who got Blackbeard out of there. The government told, when like the whole thing happened with Rocks or even before, they told him to go down, get Blackbeard, come back up, and use Blackbeard's powers in order to be able to take. It could make sense that it happened right then. Who knows? But then all of those things happened, and then because Lafitte is also called like the Sheriff of Death or something like that. Like no, the Demon Sheriff. Like come on, bro. Like what are we talking about? Like he's called the Demon Sheriff.
Do you think that Zoro's like King of Hell shit has something to do with the Abyss, or do you think it's completely different?
It could definitely have something to do with the Abyss. I think it also has to do with the death that's literally coming after him, the fucking Grim Reaper that's like on his ass in Wano. And I think
right, but do you think the Grim Reaper is from the Abyss or like actually from like the
like a literal
like the Netherworld?
Grim Reaper?
I don't know, man. It could be.
My only theory is that like
make sense.
he goes past what his human limitations are, so he's like borrowing from himself in the future. And this might just be like a Hunter x Hunter pilled like brain of mine where you exceed your limitations and now you've got to pay the tax. You either got to beat death like Logan does in Wolverine to come back, or you're screwed. So it's like basically like you should be dead here, but if you can defeat me, you can continue to press on.
Yeah. No, I think that's the best explanation, and I also think that's how Mihawk made Yoru a Black Blade. I think the same thing happened to Mihawk, where Death came for Mihawk and Mihawk beat it, and that's when the blade turned black. Is when you actually cut down Death. Is when you could cut down literally anything, and Zoro's gonna do the same shit, bro. And he's gonna do it with 3 blades.
Zoro's got to do it.
Do you think Death is like what do you think Death is like? I don't like this, like, we keep speaking in this, like, really abstract philosophical terms. Like, make it concrete. Is death, like, an actual living, breathing entity? Or is it just, like, a concept?
Like the Grim Reaper.
I think it's legitimately the Grim Reaper, like, come to take the souls down to the dead. Now, whether that has to do with Abyss, like, because I think the Abyss is an underground, like, not just a prison where the world government or, like, those gods of old legitimately put people that divide them, and, like, now there's just people who are kept as prisoners down in this underworld, even worse than what's happening on the surface. This might be a good shift over to politics in a second, haha. But I think that's what that is, but I think Death of the Grim Reaper, again, is taking these people over to, the other world, or like, you know what I mean, like an actual hell, an actual afterlife. I don't necessarily think the underworld Tartarus is the afterlife. I think it's just prison, like more like Tartarus in Greece versus like hell in like Christian mythology. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's just kind of my thing. But speaking of keeping people prisoners in One Piece by the Marines type shit, bro. I'm the king of fucking being able to swing shit over.
Well, non sequitur over
Transitions.
Type shit. Transitions, bro. I gotta get good at like YouTube editing transitions. I feel like I could make this shit mad funny if I like was able to actually use my fingies to edit. Right, Burns?
Put on
right, anyway. Hey, yo.
No, weird.
Like, SpongeBob transitions. A few minutes later.
The bubbles just lighting up.
A few minutes later. Like zoom in on fucking people's faces, do the crickets and shit. Like that shit would be so fucking funny. All right. GolferGareBear, there's a reason we have you on today. We know you're a very avid Trump supporter.
Yep.
We know that you love to talk about the blessings and teachings of Donald Trump. We all agree with it. We all love that about you. Like no, just kidding. GolferGareBear does indeed have more than 2 brain cells to rub together to make an idea and a thought. He's proven that with his All Marines Are Evil series on TikTok. Now, GolferGareBear, I want to ask you about One Piece itself. Did you get into One Piece because of the politics? Did you did a friend recommend One Piece and then you were like, oh shit, I'm attached to this because of the politics? Like, what got you in there? What made you want to do TikTok content about the political aspects of One Piece in and of itself?
So, to go back to the beginning, I got into One Piece because I've had a bunch of friends that have been on it. I know one guy was literally watching, I want to say, some really crappy fan translation site where he was watching Enies Lobby. And this is long, long ago, and he's like watching it as it's premiering. And so I've known about it forever, and I was always one of those people that was like, it's too many episodes. I can watch 1,000 other things in the time it takes you to watch One Piece. And then one day I was watching a bunch of Saiga videos, and I was like, babe, we should probably watch this. Like, me and my wife ended up sitting down, watching the whole thing, fell in love with the show. I have a whole story about how I lost my car because someone ran into my wife driving it, and then the next episode is the Mary funeral. Like, as soon as we got home, and it was the Mary funeral, and I was like, it's too special. Like, this show, like, can grab onto you in a real special way. I only started doing All Marines Are Evil because I looked around and was like, there's a bunch of people on TikTok, like you guys, Saiga, Brody. There's a bunch of different people that are way better at like theory crafting with this kind of stuff and are better at like chapter recaps and kind of just being hype. You can guys kind of see I'm not someone that gets too up. So I really wanted to just talk about the stuff that was really interesting to me about it and something that I felt like nobody else was talking about. Every once in a while, I'd feel like I'd see a video addressing the political implications of One Piece, but for the most part, I didn't feel like anybody stuck with it. And so I was like, I'm just going to hammer this point home. And I picked a very specific name in All Marines Are Evil because I've got a ton of trans followers. So I didn't want to make it All Marines Are Bastards, and then people are putting AMAB, and apparently that's pretty contentious in the trans community of whether you should use your assigned gender at birth for any reason or whatever. So I was like, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to say All Marines Are Evil. And it kind of took off. Even after the first video, like, I was getting like 1,000 views. I had like an 8,000 view video from a My Hero video talking about like the whole quirk evolution theory. And I was like, wow, I really fucking popped off here. Like, this is huge. Like, I'm really going places. And then that hit, and then another video hit, and it kind of just went back to back to back, and people kept asking for the next person and the next person. And I was like, if nobody else is going to do this and deliver this kind of content, like, I'm going to, because there's so many neat things about One Piece's, like, political world that we don't get. I talked about it, like, with how Naruto feels more like ancient China than it does, like, modern day politics. There's elements of it, but, like, One Piece as a whole, it feels like it addresses so many things in modern politics, especially because, like, Oda feels like, even if he's worth $500 million, it still feels like a working class guy. Like, the way he interacts with his fans, the way he talks about One Piece, the way it's like a dream to him at all times. So I was like, dude, I'm just going to sit here and talk about this. As long as people will let me. Eventually, I do get burnt out on it, though. I've taken 2 breaks already from it because you can only take the comment saying, well, not all pirates are good. And it's like, well, no fucking shit, dude. That's not what I said. How many times do I...
I don't read my own comments.
It's the fucking tweet that's like, I like pancakes. Oh, so you fucking hate waffles? And it's like, no,
Yeah,
bro, it's
no one
a
said that.
sentence. Like, it's a different thing. And it happens every fucking video, every single time. And I was like, every once in a while, I'm just like, dude, I cannot have this conversation for the 1000th fucking time again.
Yeah, those comments are not going anywhere anymore.
No, they never will, but
They get so fucking annoying.
I'll get recharged and we'll get back after it. I really did want to do Full Metal Alchemist, though, because it's got some... I almost made a Company Town video today about Full Metal Alchemist, but there's so many fun things to talk about when it comes to politics and different manga and anime that I feel like watching the hype moments, you're just going to kind of slip past, and unless you go back and really think about it, like, it's never really going to be present.
No, I agree. Yeah, my 2 fucking Republican brothers, they we were
Mid-face.
talking yesterday. We were talking on Father's Day, and my brother watches my videos, and I pinned the one to the top of my video top of my page talking about One Piece politics, and he tries to ask my brother, so who do you think is more correct, the pirates or the Marines? And I turned around and I said, don't you dare fucking answer that, because that's a wrong question. He was like, who would you rather side with? And I said, the revolutionaries. That's the answer. I was like, Luffy being a pirate has to do with the fact that gives him the most freedom to do what he wants. The Marines are corrupt and run a corrupt system. The revolutionaries are trying to take that down. Pirates, you have the freedom to choose whatever you want to do. People taking advantage of the system has to do with the system the Marines built up. If the revolutionaries answer, don't fucking talk to me about that shit. Because that's exactly what you just talked about. People trying to bring whataboutism and talk about different things that I'm not fucking talking about that. That's not the point. You're talking about a totally different point that I'm trying to, like, not even trying remotely to address. Like, again, yours is about Marines. I hate when people bring out pirates because it's not about pirates. It's not about the system of pirates. Again, warlords and everything like that the government lets pirates do their thing. They literally let Yonko go and bully people if they want to because they get too strong, and it's a system that the world government has put together. They are the evil, and I don't think the story could be more fucking clear about that. But that's why people like you are the best. Because again, you go online and you realize how dumb people are. You realize how fucking stupid people are, and how much they really just need it shoved down their throats to turn around and get it. And again, even if you can turn one person's mind around about One Piece politics, let's connect the bright flashing lights to real world trauma, to real world capitalism. Maybe one person
bro. We gotta talk about Naruto versus Luffy for the $8 billion.
No. Who runs the gauntlet? Zoro has to fight all the admirals. Does he run the gauntlet? One Piece Twitter is a fucking hellhole.
Oh my god!
stop?
Oh my god!
Dude. I hate it more than anything, dude.
Twitter.
You go there and it's just who wins, and I'm like, I don't care who wins. This show is so cool, and this is all you want to talk about the whole time, every day. Oh, it drives me nuts.
And they're all Admiral fans too. I got tagged a billion times on Twitter being like, you said Garp is a bad guy, what's wrong with you? I'm like, you don't watch the show! You don't watch the fucking show! Mister, I'm hanging with the baddies while fucking God Valley's going on and fucking slaves are being hunted down. Until I get called at Roger's there. Shut the fuck up, bro.
No, genuinely, because, like, God bless Saiga Runner, because I've seen, like, Saiga Runner make videos back to back, like, re-explaining for, like, 15th time why the world of the One Piece will not be better with the world government. But, like, the world government brings order, bro, but, like, and it's like, for like the 10th time today. He's like re-explained it.
Dude, you're gonna tell the guy with a black wife that the cops are the good guys, and it's like optically, if you've not been a fan of Saiga for a long time, I can get asking those questions, and it's like, brother, if you've known him for more than a year, you realize how silly the questions you're asking are.
It's ridiculous. So let me ask you, explain to our nice viewers, who I hope that they're here because they actually follow and listen to our pages, you know what I mean? They actually understand where we're at with this stuff. Explain to our viewers, where do you come from by saying all Marines are evil? But I thought cops were good guys. I thought some Marines could be good guys. Why do you name it all Marines are evil? What is the point of that? Why not? We talk about it as
why
a
not?
whole?
Some Marines are evil.
I hate those. The evil ones are evil.
I think you're not looking at this as in a granular enough level. No. I think Saiga had a video where he talked about it, and I think he kind of put it into some pretty good terms, where it was, on an individual level, you can have nuance. But at the end of the day, the actions that the Marines take, and this is especially in Akainu's Marines, like, I've said it 1,000 times, you're telling me day one of Akainu's military academy isn't shut the fuck up when a celestial dragon is there, collect that heavenly tax, or I'm making you into a donut. Like, it's flat out, go watch people starve to death, go watch people torch kingdoms so that they can pay the heavenly tax. Like, there's no island, like, everyone wants to be like, oh, the little guy on the island out in the South Blue, and I'm like, Kuma's from the fucking South Blue, guys. Sorbet Kingdom is an example of how the world government exerts its force without even having to use violence, right? And who comes and collects that shit? And who shows up when the king wants to come back because he's backed by the world government? It wasn't the fucking Holy Knights. It was 3 Marine ships. Like, it's every aspect of being a Marine. At some point, you're going to interact with how you're detrimental to the world. And not reflecting on that is what makes you evil. And the problem that I have is everyone wants to be like, well, you want him to take him on? One guy, one random? I'm like, brother, you can just go home. You can just hang out. I've said it before. Garp could spend all day with baddies. But if he stopped punching people for the world government, I'd give him props. Everyone is like, well, what if they turn on the world government? Does that make them evil? I'm like, no, that's what we want them to accomplish. This entire fucking time was to actually do the job everyone in my comments says they're fucking doing, right? It's all systemic, and nobody wants to understand the fact that, like, an apparatus versus individuals is a whole thing. Like, I could go for an hour about how it's entirely different to be a Marine than a single, you can be the most evil fucking pirate. Nobody's resume stacks up to what the Marines have done. Not even the world government, what the Marines alone have done. Blackbeard blushes at what type of evil shit those guys have accomplished, and they still clock in the next day.
Yeah, yeah, you fucking worded it perfectly. And I hate that. What about the guy in the random guy in the South Blue? Did you not hear the words that he just said for the past 2 minutes? Talking about, again, systemic. It's systemic versus it's not. I totally 1000% agree, and it's just the stuff that's shoved down people's faces. Now, what I want to ask you, because a lot of people,
let me just interject real quick. And I think it's like,
right ahead.
What I really like about your videos, talking about like all Marines are evil. It's not just like, you know, the Akainus of the world are evil. You know, all of them. Everybody who contributes to the system, everybody who upholds the Celestial Dragons, everybody who answers to emo. Like, Oda doesn't even try to make it seem like, oh well, you know, maybe the king of the world government is the fucking demon, and the fucking Gorosei are demons. Like, there is no like nuance here. Like, you serve the literal devil. Like, you can't just try and like anybody who serves and upholds this is literally working for the devil. Like, what are you trying to out intellectualize your way out of it? And I think it's just because a lot of people are forced to confront the fact that for somebody to be contributing to an evil system and upholding an evil system and oppressing people, you don't have to yourself be like, I hate all minorities and I want them all to die. No, like, if you are participating in it, you are part of the problem. And it's like, a lot of people, especially when you liken it to things going on in the real world, they would like to believe that, you know, their grandparents who may have been part of a system that wasn't so good, maybe their relatives who are part of a system that is not so good, but you know, well, they personally are a good person in their own personal life. Who cares that they're personally a good person in their personal life? If you contribute to an evil system, you're evil. It's like, it's that simple. But people want to cope about that instead of just accepting the reality.
Dude, I saw, there was a guy who tagged me in a video about one of my, you remember the Rage Bait video I made about Naruto and Luffy about the AI conversation? And how I put the Rage Bait like start to it. ND, I think you responded, or somebody responded, I forget, whatever. So I said in it, I was like, it's kind of liberalism versus leftism with the Naruto and whatever, and Naruto like liberalism versus like the One Piece world is leftism. And somebody was like, but you got to take a step back and not think of it as like the United States. Like you're putting yourself like in kind of leftist shoes with the United States or like real world right now, where like the United States is not like there's nothing about the system that's like fucking salvageable. In order to salvage it, it kind of needs to just be taken down in order to be built back up, right? Like that's the whole kind of leftist ideology. It's like this system's not fucking salvageable at all because of what it was built on. Somebody said that the One Piece world is the same thing because again, built with literal devils building it up to oppress people. It's not salvageable. The whole thing needs to get taken down. So again, a Marine thinking that like he's contributing well because like, oh, I'm going to reform the system from the inside, or people saying Garp using sword is going to reform the system from the inside. And there's no reforming that system. With Naruto, somebody pointed it out where it was founded upon like welcoming everybody. Like the Hidden Leaf was founded upon bringing together every group in order to create peace. And that's what Naruto reformed it to be again because it was built upon good intentions. It was built upon
that with not the Hashirama Madara scene. Right.
Exactly. It was built upon not the backs of like fucking slaves. Like it was built upon good intentions, people actually wanting to come together to do something so it can be reformed versus something like One Piece where it can't. And I was like, oh my god, bro, just opened my brain up to like a whole entirely new whatever. And I was like, that's the type of political conversations I want to have. You know what I'm saying? Not the stupid Naruto would support ICE type situation. Like then you're just lost the plot. There's nothing ever to talk about with you. I don't want to hear any more of your rage baiting ever in my entire life. You know what I'm saying?
Hope it's rage bait.
Burnsy, I didn't see if you went in on the ice guy. I know these two did. I know I did.
I didn't. I didn't get to. I literally just screen recorded it before. I swear to God.
So many people made videos about it, and I made a video.
Well, that's why I saw more. I went to his account, and then obviously that's the first thing that comes up when you look it up, and then I saw it, I clicked the video, and I was like, okay, let me see what else he does, and then I click on his account, and then the following two videos is Naruto would be an IDF soldier, and then it was Naruto supports Israel, and he's just doubling down. I don't know.
The dude is like fully a white supremacist. Like I looked at his page. Apparently, like I saw like apparently Pin said that like he has like videos saying like he only watched Naruto because he has blonde hair and blue eyes. Like the dude is just like fully like.
And it's not rage bait.
No, it's not. I don't think it is.
No, he's like one of those. He's like a UK reform guy, which is like fucking Steven Crowder alt-right bullshit, but like for UK people.
But even if it is like rage bait is such like a bitch ass like excuse. Like you're pushing hate at the end of the day. You're using a series that is meant to promote peace and love and collaboration, and using it to promote hate. So I don't give a fuck if you're calling it rage bait or trolling or a joke. Like no, what you're doing is you're pushing hate. You can call it whatever the fuck you want. You're pushing hate, and you're gonna get debunked. You're gonna get roasted, and you're gonna get made fun of. Like straight up.
As he should. And you know what? I should have went in on him harder. Like, I should have insulted him harder. I should have insulted his entire fucking heritage and bloodline. But, because that shit just there's no space to talk about that. We're in such a space in the world where it's like, we need to start having, every conversation we have needs to be, how can we make, universal healthcare, work? You know what I mean? Not, is universal healthcare something that we should do? I think it should be privatized. There's no room for that, bro. Shut the fuck up. You're not part of the conversation.
Push that over.
You sit at the kids' table, bro. We are talking again about nuanced political opinions within our anime, and I'm very happy that One Piece TikTok, at least the people who are posting about it, and again, GolferGareBear, you post more about that shit. That's what your account is about. But I'm happy that a lot of people view not One Piece, just One Piece, but view politics like that. I'm happy that you post that, and every Naruto creator that I follow got on his ass immediately. It wasn't a let's agree with him. It was a you're fucking wrong. Shut your mouth. Never speak again. Mm-hmm. Now, GolferGareBear, what I wanted to ask again, even we got questions in the comments right now. But what about Sword? But what about Fujitora? Again, like he said, there's individual things and individual
what about Koby?
Written characters. But I want to know, what do you say to somebody who says, I'll give the two specifics, Sword and Fujitora, working with the Marines?
So for Sword, I've got to give a shout out to Jacoby D. Jones, I think is his full TikTok name. He pointed out in a video where he was reacting to my All Marines Are Evil stuff, talking about Sword. He was in agreement. In Sword, you're still wearing the badge. But in their fight on Hochinosu, they're like kind of losing the clothes that really show they're part of the Marines. And, you know, he was like, I think it's intentional that Oda is slowly stripping this away from them. That Sword, not only is it like just such like an outside force, granted it's still a part of the Marines, but like the Marines are going to leave them before they leave the Marines. Like they're going to get kicked out and they're going to be without a home essentially. And that's going to be where those characters go. But at the end of the day, and I said it in another video where it was like, brother, if a guy's fully dressed up as a cop and he goes, I'm not a cop, I work for an extrajudicial force and I have no oversight and I have no accountability. And it's like, you're still a fucking cop. Like at the end of the day, you're still a cop. And that's, I don't know how many times I've said it in videos where I'm like, brother, you cannot tell the oppressed. Like, if a slave catcher went up to a slave and was like, no, I'm actually a part of a different one, but I still have to do this job, and it's like, you're still a fucking slave catcher.
He's still doing it.
You know, me personally, I don't like slavery, but I still gotta bring you in. Like,
I'm not. I shake
up.
my head no every time I see somebody get caught, but you know, I still gotta do the job. Fujitora is the one I find more interesting.
My son is a runaway slave. Yeah, I'm gonna bring him in, but I cried about it, so that makes it okay.
I got real mad when they put him in cuffs. I tell you. He could have asked me for help, though, and I would have stopped it. All his homies showed up to help him, but I didn't. That's my bad. I'm salty about it now.
He's literally being hanged, but I told the other slave catcher to hold me back. Like, what?
Yeah, and I remember made the slowest, most dramatic walk ever to one of my bosses saying, hey, look, I'm gonna get you, waiting for my other boss to fucking put me in the ground to hold me back, bro. Like, relax. Fucking ridiculous.
And people just love Garp because he's so raw. Like, he's so sick, and, like, his fights on Hochinosu are so incredible, and it's like, he's not without redemption. He's not without, like, actually redeeming qualities. But he still is such a fucking lapdog. But to get to Fujitora, like, I at least am of the opinion that whatever happened in his home kingdom, like, he is essentially a slave to the world government. Like, it was do this or we kill your whole kingdom. Because we know whatever happened there. I also think some type of Cypher Pole agents came there and started that war. Oda gave us so little in that SBS that it's like, there's got to be more to this.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be so much more. And I think he's basically doing his job because if he doesn't, his whole family dies, whoever he loves dies, and they only want him specifically because you had a theory about the Mother Flame, Nerd King had a theory about the Mother Flame being buried in the ocean because of Joy Boy and because of Vivi, who was Vivi's ancestor?
Oh, Lily. Yeah.
Lily and him spread the poneglyphs, hid the Mother Flame. They can't go and get it. If they could have gone and gotten it in the 800 years, they'd have gone and gotten it already.
They would have fucking done it
They
by
would
now.
have done it already. They need his gravity powers. Somebody was like, why not get the Fishman? And I was like, why the fuck would you go get the Fishman for this? You have one guy with one power. He gets Dami reversied, and now you have the ability to lift whatever you need out of the ocean. Like, I have a theory that, like, it's going to be a big moment in the final battle. He's going to lift weapons out of the ocean, and then Luffy shows up, and he can see again, and he sees Luffy smile. Like, headcanon. Pure hopium, pure headcanon. But I think he's against his will. I think he's held against his will, and he's the only one that's ever shown any actual, like, what it means to defend an innocent person. In all of Dressrosa, he, like, bows to the king of Dressrosa because he knows they did wrong. And he pissed the whole world government off with it. And they still haven't gotten rid of him, which is where that whole theory is built off of. Like, they'd have killed anybody else for doing that.
Right.
Literally. No, yeah, I think I agree. And again, I've never seen anybody in the world government, anybody who's affiliated with the world government ever, go out of their way to attempt to free a slave. And he's literally the only one in the entire story. Not only did he free, like, a singular slave, like, he just went to Marijois and he was like, I'm here, everybody's going by, like, I'm good.
Bro, the walkways don't work anymore. Like, you have to actually walk in Marijois now.
Yeah, exactly. Like that shit was great. Like that, but again, like that, I think.
But Garp went to God Bell to fight. Garp went to God Bell to fight Roger, though. So.
And somebody's saying Koby.
He's a good guy.
Somebody's saying Koby will do what Garp couldn't, and like again, I agree. I think we're heading towards a whole like the world is coming down, I think the One Piece world will just hit a reset. There will be nothing left by the end of this final war. They legitimately will be nothing. If there's something to be built up after with the world that's not built off of the backs of slaves, if there is a force to defend the innocent, Koby will be the one leading it, and that's literally that's who I think his character is just meant to be. Because again, he saw the corruption of the Marines to start. That's literally what his character was within the first couple episodes of One Piece, was like, here's the corruption, all the stuff with the pirates and everything, and Zoro, and oh my god, Zoro is now being in this by Helmeppo. He's in the yard being fucking starved to death because he was just trying to help a little girl. What? These are not the people who I wanted to do. You know what I mean? These are not the people who I wanted to join. He saw it, and again, the hopefulness of being able to change the system from the inside. I think he'll come to realize that it's impossible to change it. I have hope for Koby. Again, but don't get me wrong, he's bad right now because he's serving a shit ass system. Individualistic qualities of redemption, I feel like if you're going in order of the world government, it's Fujitora, and then Koby's next, but down here, and then everybody else is just fucking shitty ass people. You know what I mean? That's my opinion on Koby. I don't know if you vibe with that.
I think it's fair. I think Oda's one big fumble in that introduction story to Koby is he wasted such a good pirate name, Captain Morgan, in the first 5 chapters. We got rid of this bum so early on. It's dude, he loves his little callback names, Blackbeard, Whitebeard, anybody that's been an actual, pirate captain in history. And we wasted on Morgan.
They low-key wasted Brownbeard.
He said, yup. Dude, yeah, Captain Morgan, that was so motherfucking wasted in that beginning, bro. Imagine, one of the final villains, a Yonko named Captain Morgan. That shit would be
bro, and then he
hard,
hits the pose off the bottle. We never got to see any of that. Come on, dude. He could have been a drunk. He could have been in the full getup. It would have been sick.
That should be our man with the eye patch, bro. What are we talking about?
Final villain's gonna be the Dutchman, bro. So.
The Flying
the Flying Dutchman.
Imagine.
Be Davy Jones' locker.
Davy Jones is gonna be the villain, bro.
The One Piece is in Davy Jones' locker.
Wait, stop! Because I just thought that fucking thing that it's literally in Davy Jones' locker. That's all.
No, you did not. No.
As you're saying Davy Jones'
put a
locker,
whole theory together right here.
But the One Piece is not in Davy Jones' locker.
One Piece is in Davy Jones' locker.
Bro, it is not in Davy Jones' locker.
Nah, stop, because that's the whole thing about Davy Jones' locker being about the souls and shit, bro, and I think the One Piece is in the abyss. Stop it. You're fucking cooking, bro.
Did I accidentally become a One Piece theorist?
You could!
Did we make it?
Into it? That's how they all find themselves in it.
Bro,
Oh shit, I'm cooking.
You can literally just say anything, and then people will be like, oh my god, God of foreshadowing.
Fucking go
until 5 years from now, Oda writes it in. And then it's gonna happen.
Oh, the best One Piece theorists are the ones on Twitter that post 45 a month, and then 6 months later, one kind of hits, and they're like, "Who's got the hit rate like me, brother?" And it's dude, you're batting 1 for 50 at the mound now, dude.
You know how it is.
Do I ever miss, bro?
Do I ever miss? Let me run it back real quick.
145, bro. I legitimately, genuinely, listen, I'm not that humble of a guy, okay? I'm not that humble of a guy. Not to toot my own horn, I might be the only One Piece theorist I've ever seen hit every single time. No, I'm just kidding. And when I don't hit, I literally will be like, yo, I missed. I failed. This was a total
Guys,
miss,
I fucked
okay.
up.
We just move on. It's just a theory. It's fine. And people are like, you're so stupid. It's dude, I'm just
They're going back to your videos. They gotta fucking save, dude. They got a folder with them.
Look what you said in 2023. Get out of here.
You stupid bitch. I'm relax, bro. I'm just a little guy theorizing. We just move on as the show gets. But there are people who are legitimately like that, who will make 50 to 100 theories, especially on fucking Twitter, and then if it's wrong, somebody be like, you're wrong, and they're like, no, but Oda, you know how Oda said if he sees a correct theory, he's gonna change it. So he changed the story, bro, because he saw
I need the source for that one. I've seen that quote 1,000 fucking times. If Oda sees it online, he'll change it. And fucking source me, brother. And I don't need it to be that guy that takes
I might be able to low-key find it. Oh yeah!
yeah, you know that guy.
Dude, that literally goes through Oda's trash near his studio and shit like that.
Yeah, dude, he disappears.
Swear to God, he'll take photos.
Yeah, he'll disappear off Twitter for 3 months, and then he's like, Oda just dropped off the new chapter, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking? And he's taking pictures of his house. It's crazy.
The question is, does Oda know about this man?
He's got
That's
to.
what we
Oda's
need.
got to have security, bro. Like, he's got to have. You know,
Shitting my
he's royalty
pants.
in Japan.
I think it's been Nerd King the whole time, Loki.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the mic, you caught me, bro. I was waiting to say it's me. You caught
This
me.
is how I've been
I've
cooking for
doing it
so
the
long.
whole time.
That's what I've been doing.
He's reading manuscripts in the trash.
Yeah. He's watching him draw it. He's watching Oda draw it through his window.
I hear
Every
him
every
talk-
panel.
No, you don't understand. I can hear. The Japanese, like, that's my second
He holds the
language, bro.
Google
I
Translate up to the
literally
window.
put
That's what he does.
Put my whole fucking lights up to the fucking things and just, like, listens in on Oda speaking. And then I just read the theories. And I'm like, it's a theory. No, it's just correct. That's all I am.
It's
bro.
just the truth.
I don't theorize. I'm just right. Like, what are we talking
If you don't watch Oda draw through his fucking window, are you even a real fan? Like,
Yeah, are you even a
100%.
real fan if you don't stalk Oda? Like, what are we talking about here?
If you don't know what Oda said in SBS 5745 on line 3 at about side character number 407, are you really a One Piece fan? The answer is fuck no, you're not, bro. You're not at all. You're just not.
You're not one of them.
You're not at all. All right, I have another political question for you, Mr. GolferGareBear. If that's okay. If that's okay with you.
Hit me.
All right, bet.
Would Luffy
So
support Ice?
again. Yes, Luffy would support a brave ice troops. Don't ever say that shit again, Andy. No, I'm just kidding. Dude, that dude said brave ice troops. I said brave?
The high school
brave?
dropouts that couldn't even make it as a cop. Those guys.
Yeah, what are you
Man.
talking about?
So brave.
Oh, yeah, it's so fucking
Bro fully said Naruto would like kill protesters. Okay, you will fucking
You're like-
a lot, bro. Naruto would kill protesters. I'm like,
Bro did not watch Naruto. Bro didn't watch the first episode.
The whole thing about Naruto is he's defending the village from an ancient alien sovereignty. Like, he's defending the sovereignty from the village of the...
Bro, he said the character arc of Naruto was Naruto upholding the system. Was Naruto upholding the system for Konoha the whole time? Like, the first thing he doesn't do in the first arc is disregard the shinobi system.
If he... I don't think people understand.
Bro, I saw that, bro.
I'm pressed.
I was waiting for the punchline. I was so sure it was a joke. I was just.
That's
waiting
why
for
I'm
the
saying I
punchline.
thought it was rage bait. It's like the
And
way he's saying it.
And there was no punchline.
It's the accent, bro. You see, you hear the British
That's what I
accent, and you're like,
thought.
he's faking it. Like, it's not real.
Yeah.
Like the inflection. No, he literally says it like it's rage bait. He's like, so we all know about how Naruto's entire arc is upholding the system of like shinobi that's been around for decades, and it's like, okay, that's sad. Like you're saying it like it's wrong, but then he just keeps going and going and going.
Well, Burns, let me ask you, because, again, we haven't had your TikTok take yet, so this is the first take Burns exclusive on Triple Nexus. Suck my nuts. Anyway, Burns, do you think...
Naruto clearly hates immigrants, right? Burns.
Clearly, because the Otsutsuki don't belong on Earth because they're aliens, and he's been trying to get rid of them. So
Yeah,
he's
that's the reason why he
completely...
hates them, because they're
Exactly.
aliens and no other reason.
There's no other reasons.
No other reason whatsoever. Yeah, they just popped up, and Naruto's fucking internalized racism was like, oh.
It's internalized.
That's the reason, bro. That's the reason why Kawaki turned out to be the villain, because it's showing you that immigrants are actually bad, even if they pretend to be good. That's why Kawaki's the villain, bro.
That's what the theme was the whole time.
Well,
The
that's
entire
what the
time. That's
Nine-Tailed
what the theme
that's what the
was.
Nine-Tailed Fox was. His inner power is his actual realizing that he's superior to everybody else, bro. That's what it is. Like, that's what's coming out of him when he sees people who don't belong in the village. Come on.
Guys are
what we
cooking.
talking about?
Guys are
Cooking
cooking.
up.
Guys are
Yo,
cooking.
my God.
Comprehension, bro.
Type shit. Yo. Burns, do you think Naruto would support ICE?
Naruto's mother is an immigrant. Naruto's mom is not from the same land. Does not belong in Konoha. She's from the land of whirlpools, bro. She immigrated into Konoha. I don't know. I actually don't know where people get that from. Again, yeah, his mom is an immigrant. He's constantly about letting people enter Konoha, how Konoha is one big family to protect people. Even actual villains. Orochimaru is in Konoha. You think if someone's not born in Konoha, he's not going to let them in, but he's going to keep Orochimaru there?
And Kabuto.
How does that make any sense? He lets Kabuto run an orphanage. Like, how is that fair? And especially with what happened in Boruto, with Kawaki literally being an outsider, and he verbatim tells him, even as an outsider, if you're not safe in Konoha, then I'm not doing my job correctly. Then I shouldn't have been Hokage if I can't make an outsider, someone who's not from Konoha, feel like Konoha is their family. So where are we getting that he's gonna be like, oh, you're not from here? No, you gotta go. You gotta go. I'm not gonna talk to you at all, matter of fact.
No, but you don't understand is Kawaki got his papers before he did it.
He did it the right way. I'm all for legal
He entered
aliens,
legally.
divine trees coming to Earth. I don't care as long as they do it the right way.
They did it the right way. No, but that's also the danger of his rhetoric is like turning around and being like, oh, defending the village from an alien force, like an alien force. You're equating like a poor mother of like 2 children coming over to the United States to get a better life to fucking interdimensional villains who are here to sap the life force out of Earth. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
They're trying to matrix the planet.
Somebody's trying to have a better life for their family, and you're like, nah, they're putting trees. Like that's that Alex fucking Jones type shit. That's that Alex Jones logic. Like,
The turn of the frogs gang.
The fucking 45-year-old dad that does my landscaping is secretly of the fucking Ten Tails. Like,
Yeah, he's.
like it's ridiculous.
I saw him hit a Bijou bomb. Like, you guys don't understand. Like, he's gonna...
Don't get it. I swear to God. You don't absorb our planet's power.
That's why, like, just fuck that. I wish Dude gets banned because people do not need to be hearing about that rhetoric. People do not need to be hearing about that rhetoric at all. And again, GareBear, this is gonna be.
I'm not even in support of mass reporting, but I would mass report that shit. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I would mass report that the fuck out of that shit.
As we fucking should. No place.
It's all fun and games until people start agreeing.
If you're gonna push your white supremacy bullshit, at least don't bring our shit into it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
bro, you got
leave my show out of it, bro.
There's so much white supremacy space on the internet, brother. Go get in Ben Shapiro's comments. Like
go
to 4chan.
Go to the fucking Nick Fuentes comment sections. Go to the fucking Cell comment sections. Go to fucking Fresh and Fit, bro. Stay away from our shit, bro.
Fresh and Fit.
Go to the male loneliness epidemic fucking comment sections, bro. That shit pisses me off. We're the male lonelies in this epidemic, brother. You just can't pull. It's not an epidemic.
To women.
It's not you're
Talk to
ugly.
women.
It's not an epidemic. You like listen to Ben Shapiro podcast. There's no epidemic. You're a piece of shit. You're awful. You would beat your life if you were given the opportunity. You're a piece of absolute dog shit. There's no epidemic. You can go up to women and talk to them. And no, the woman who fucking dubbed your ass and stopped texting you when you were 16 is not responsible for your shit ass life. That's you and being stupid.
no amount of lobster theory or making your fucking bed is ever gonna get you a lady, brother. Read One Piece and you might have a better chance, dude. You might have a better fucking chance. Read One Piece, dude. Go read Yona of the Dawn. Tell me there aren't a billion ladies on this planet looking for any dude to talk up to about Yona of the Dawn. There's 50 volumes, dude. It's like their One Piece, and it's fucking going on forever. My wife loves that shit, dude. Do anything but what you're doing. Just do anything else.
Anything else.
Oh, no, but she doesn't want me. People don't want nice guys like me. You're not a nice guy. You belong in jail. Like, relax.
Do you think if we showed them Rent a Girlfriend, do you think they'd get it by the end? Or do you think they'd be like all the people on Twitter that are like, that girl needs to be shot? Like, dude, just showering,
oh my God.
showering girls with gifts, paying their rent, isn't gonna get them to fall in love with you, brother. Be a decent guy. Just try that for once.
I don't think they'd grasp it.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't.
Things like, I can get a woman to spend time around me if I just start spending money on everything. That's it.
Why don't women like me? You actively vote against women's rights. What are you talking about?
Maybe if you didn't just reference Andrew Tate in the first 5 seconds of the conversation, maybe she would talk to you.
I'm sorry, but I'm not really into politics. Method got patched a long time ago.
I'm a moderate. I'm a centrist. I think I see good on both sides.
Oh my God, that means you're a fucking bitch.
Nah, I love the enlightened centrism shit. It's so funny.
Oh,
it's like,
God,
actually,
such good memes,
I think you
dude.
both suck.
Me personally, I don't really care about politics. Bro, you just told us you're selfish. You don't care about shit that doesn't affect you, bro. Like,
both sides are equally as bad. You think white supremacy is as bad as feeding the poor? Shut the fuck up, bro. What are you talking about?
You think kids having free school lunch and fucking terrorizing immigrants is the same thing?
No free lunch.
They're both as bad, and that's why I don't get women.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
It's women's fault.
Shut your fucking
You heard it here, folks. It's right here on the Quadruple Nexus podcast.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, the forming.
yo, it's the same vibes as Segway because I'm the master at Segway. Oh, it's the same vibe as saw a TikTok again. One Piece is not political. Just because it has politics in it doesn't mean it's political.
Was that guy serious?
Fucking-
I saw it in.
Yes!
Is he being? That's not satire, right?
No.
No.
Serious. That's the,
Just because Star Wars has the Empire in it doesn't mean it's political. What are you talking about?
Bro, back in the day, people used to complain when we'd be in English class and we're reading a book, and then the English teacher is like, "Why do you think the curtains are blue?" And I remember being one of those people that's like, "It's because the fucking curtains are blue. It's just because it's just because the writer said so." And it's like, no, you're supposed to apply how you feel to something. You are supposed to apply your knowledge to it. Oda doesn't have to hold our fucking hands. So we learn the lessons he's putting in the manga. We apply that. And that's like, I feel like that's completely lost on people. Everyone is still stuck on it.
Yeah, people think like kind of like what you said. They think that like the author has to like spoon feed you like their specific beliefs and tell you this is the fucking moral of the story. This is what you should do. This is what you should vote for it to be political. No, dumbass. Political fiction is supposed to give you a lens to view the real world. It's supposed to give you a lens for you to view what's going on in this fiction and apply it to the real world. That's the whole point of political fiction. Fahrenheit 451 and fucking Catch 22 isn't telling you vote for this person and vote for this policy. It's showing you here is what fascism looks like. Here is all the things that might go on in the real world. Let's apply it to this fiction so you can view it through the lens of this character and view it through the lens of this world and be like, wow, this looks weirdly familiar to the shit that's happening in real life. Like, it's really not that difficult. Like, I don't understand.
Well, it's all the same people. I know I'm months behind on this discourse, but it's all the same people that were saying that Bleach has no theme. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
They can't grasp what's going on. And I deadass had someone message me one day and was like, "Dude, how do I up my reading comprehension?" And I was like, "I don't know how to answer this fucking question, dude. I don't know how to like." He was like talking. He's like,
I don't know, like read slower. I don't know.
Well, he's like a full-grown adult, and he was saying like he didn't like. He just never really liked reading until he started reading manga, and I was like, brother, like, you just gotta keep reading. I told him to like write down how you feel about something, like watch how other people interpret the same exact thing. But that's it. Like, we've got a ton of people even in our comments that agree with us on the political side. They're just lacking reading comprehension. Like, schools suck now, bro. Like, hearing about my younger siblings going to
I don't even
school.
want to blame the
The thing is,
schools.
though, I don't think it's the schools, though, because here's the problem, bro. Because, like, it's not the schools. It's the fact. I remember somebody commenting, like, "Oh, why don't they teach media literacy in schools?"
They
Dude,
do.
They do. The problem is, the time
first
in
5
class
grades.
when you guys were reading To Kill a Mockingbird in class and discussing it, you were more worried about whether or not the teacher was going to read the N-word out loud instead of actually paying attention to the class discussion. That's why you don't know how to read.
That's fair.
We're just sitting there
That's
waiting
fair.
for the page.
You see it coming up. It's like 3/4 of the way down the page, and you're just sitting there anxious the whole time. Like, is she
just
gonna
keep looking
say
up
it?
at the
Or is she
teacher.
gonna
It's like-
call on somebody else to say it? Oh,
And then she hits you with the, "I'm gonna say a word, class. We cannot It's very serious. It's to keep the context of the story."
Like, bro,
Yells
like,
it.
No, they do teach it. That's the problem, though. They do teach it. You just cheated yourself out of that education. I don't know what to tell you.
and if you fell behind on it, it's like, how do we help them get there? How do I help somebody that is at least acknowledging that? Like, because imagine, I don't know. I look back, I'm like, I don't know fuck all about math. I didn't pay attention for shit in math. I'm trying to do cross multiplication for a job interview, and I looked like a moron. And it's like, how do we go back? How do we like grab what we had before? And so I don't know. At least hopefully what I said to him was at least helpful in some regard.
I feel like if
think-
you're
I
on the
think at
fence
the
on
end of the day,
something,
it's like-
oh my bad, Joe.
I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, I feel like it just comes down to reading, like just like reading more and then discussing more, right? Because like the more you talk about something, the more like you get into the nitty gritties of it, and the more like you like cite sources like within the text. Like what is the author trying to tell you? Not what have I already decided in my head is what the story is about, and superimposing that onto the text. What is the author trying to communicate to you, and what is your evidence within the text? And that's what the author is saying, and then you get into dialogue, because that's the point of story, right? To communicate a message to the reader, and only through being in dialogue with others and being in dialogue with the text can you really have a more richer and deeper understanding of what the work is about, right? That's the whole point of these, like, TikTok videos that we do, talking to each other, talking to the comments, We're trying to get a more deeper understanding of text, and there are things that, right, I would have never seen unless you brought it up, or unless Nerd King brought it up, right? Or even when it comes to Naruto, like there's a lot of things that I didn't even know until Burns talked about it, like the whole aspect, for example, of like Naruto's mom being an immigrant. That completely went over my head. I didn't even realize it until people started bringing that up, right? That's the whole point of these discussions. So,
all right,
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree.
great points. But bringing up how Nerd King said if he got real good at editing, he's been making a face for the past like 3 minutes that so distracting. Like you guys are talking. He's
Oh, I'm low-key stimming.
We like zoom in on it. We like zoom in on it for a clip.
It's just me and ND over here talking about reading comprehension, and he's just.
Because when my social battery gets to like the end of it, I gotta like recharge myself a little bit, stare off into space for a second.
Yo,
drink my
5 minutes
dad,
locked here. 5 minutes locked
but-
here.
Gotta
Lock in
you know
right
what
now.
I'm saying?
Wait, is this the
No,
hot
but-
take hour? Do we just start spitting out random shit?
Honestly, we can start spitting out whatever the fuck you want, bro. In the last 5 minutes,
Garp would support Trump.
Garp would support Trump.
Garp
Garp
vote
would
for
support
Trump.
Trump. Soul Leveling is anime of the year. Naruto
not a hot
supports the
take.
IDF.
Low key.
Is it not a hot take?
It's
Is
no,
it not
because
a hot
it's true. It is the anime.
Not like by the rankings. You know, not by the rankings.
Dude, it's how many times
It's the
people
best anime
voted
of all
on an
time.
episode. That's what determines how good an anime is. But no, Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, the manga, not the anime, overhated.
Yeah, honestly.
Said overhated.
Overhated. I think that
Overhated.
story is actually really good. I think it's very interesting.
I think the thing, like at least for me, it's like one of those things like when you finish something that's like up here, and then like you start the next thing and you expect it to be even higher, but it's like lower, then it's like this is the worst shit to ever exist.
Yeah.
But in like reality, it's like it's not that bad, you know.
Bro, I literally never got that.
I think that's for me for like Super, right? Like Dragon Ball Super. Like I finished Dragon Ball was here. I finished Dragon Ball Z was here, and then Super was like here, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? This is horrible. But like in reality, it's not that bad. It's just not Dragon Ball Z, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My hot take is when it's proven that Blackbeard is the final villain of One Piece, I want nobody to talk to me for weeks on end, and I just need everybody to just every video I need to see on my For You page is Nerd King was right, and that's it. Like that's all I care.
When I drop my theory that Gear 9 Gear Satan is gonna come out and that actually happens, bro, I don't want anybody to ever speak to me.
It's a
already called Gear
mistranslation, though. It's Gear Death. Yeah, it's Gear Death.
I already called it. I want the credit for Gear Death.
Gear Death Man. Just fucking be able to just sap people's souls, bro.
Oda's finally going to kill characters off. It's going to be all the Straw Hats, and then Luffy goes Gear Death. It's facts.
This is my
Bro.
true monkey form.
What I also can't fucking stand is people saying, just for 2 seconds, oh my god, puppy in the background, is people saying Kizaru is a good guy, or like Kizaru, like all that stuff.
Yeah,
No,
what do you think-
Kizaru
what do you
was
think about
hesitant
Kizaru?
because he didn't want to kill his best friend. He's still dead, he stabbed him in his fucking heart! What are you talking about?
Still evil
did
as
it.
He's a
shit.
bad guy!
Still did it.
But one question I wanted to ask, I just completely remembered. What do you guys think about Kuzan leaving the world government? Because I know, like, you talked about Dragon leaving the world government as him going, like, you know, him, like, seeing the evils of the world government and leaving. But I feel like Kuzan didn't leave for pure intentions. So what do you make of that?
I don't think it was for good. I think he was salty more than anything. I think he had a vision for the Marines. Now, is it as iron-fisted as Akainu's? Probably not. But he was 100% ready to kind of run that apparatus. Not that different than what we see in, like, modern One Piece or current One Piece. And I still can't really wrap my head around why he would join Blackbeard other than, like, convenience of opportunity. Like, who's going to fuck with you?
Right now.
You are now part of maybe the strongest Yonko crew, second strongest depending on how you look at it with Shanks. Like, you are way the fuck up there, and nobody can mess with you, and, like, nobody from Crossguild is going to come and try and get your head. Nobody from the world government's going to try and touch you. Like, I don't know what his end goal is. I know he's crying when he beat Garp, when Garp, you know, got beat on Hochinosu, but I have no fucking idea what he's going to do with that. I still think he's kind of a bitch for joining him, though.
And the fact that he's on the panel where it's the major players for the One Piece and he's there.
Yeah, fuck off.
I'm so excited to see fucking. I want to see what he's. Yeah, but he's a piece of shit. I fucking hate him. But I want to see what like he's ready to do. Now about strongest Yonko crew, bro. If the theories are true and this fucking because Luffy asked Loki to join the goddamn Straw Hats in this past chapter. If Loki joins the Straw Hats, And these motherfuckers, Zoro and Luffy, get this advanced Conquerors Haki, whatever the fuck. Nobody's stepping toe-to-toe 1v1s with the Straw Hats, bro. At this point in the story, there's nobody. You have Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Loki, Jinbei. What are we talking about? They are clipping, and especially if Loki was a former Yonko, like if those theories are true that Shanks took his spot, and Loki was a former Yonko, you have two motherfuckers on the same squad, throwing dukes for the same squad, bro. They're killing.
People still think Admirals are the strongest.
Yeah. Oh,
Top of
no,
the
for
verse.
sure, dude. I still see it argued that Kizaru wasn't trying on Egghead. Not at all. He got railed with it. The Star Gun didn't even hurt. He wasn't even. He delivered
Nah, he was
McDonald's afterwards. He's obviously not that bad.
But who gave the opportunity? Who made up the thing in One Piece that like you can like not be about what's happening right now? Like, oh, I'm sad that I'm killing my best friend, so that means I'm literally not trying at all. Who the fuck put that together?
Bro,
like, who said that?
Bro, if the
he
guy
killed
that-
him.
Bro,
He
it's
kept trying.
somebody
the
said
guy that I
mentally
like
nerfed.
If the guy that I like loses, then they obviously weren't trying.
100%. The pull-up
comes
was
to
still
Alice-
hard even if I lost. It's the same logic.
Bro, no, stop, because pull-up's gonna...
I know you guys have a contentious debate about that one.
Stop that shit.
Pull-up
Luffy's
is
pull-up
kinda
on Big Mom and Kaido was still hard as fuck, bro.
Let's get his fucking ass
This
kicked.
is my pull-up. Bro, you lost.
Luffy's pull-up on Big Mom and Kaido was still hard. I do not want to hear nothing about it. That shit was crazy.
Bro was not Jigen. He did not win the
Bro
1v2.
yeah, you know who he was not Jigen, he was Monkey D. Luffy, he was the future king of the pirates. That's
I died 4 times in a row.
That's who that shit was. That's
And
who
then
that
lost
shit
the
was.
guy saved by plot armor. That's not
Yeah.
And you also asked the Lord who has plot armor. But
If you want to say, you can say plot armor. I can say the god of foreshadowing, bro. It's
Oh
just
my
two
goodness.
different. It's just two different definitions for the same thing, bro.
Yo, because
They're
Bro, we're gonna
synonyms.
go back in
because
time and
Luffy-
see that Joy
because
Boy
Luffy
had to
was
die
supposed-
for it too.
Because Luffy was supposed to die in chapter 1, but then he didn't die, so then that is literally foreshadowing for when he fought Kaido and was supposed to die and didn't die, bro. W foreshadowing.
Goda. They call him Goda
Yes!
for a reason.
Goda. Or Admiral fans turning around and be like, oh, Admiral fans are still stronger. We're waiting to see Akainu's full thing. We're fighting the devil now, bro. Like, you're so far
You're so
beyond the
sidelined.
line.
Your desk
Like,
admiral is really gonna pull up in the final war on the side of the bad guys. Like, are you still gonna be arguing the Yonko or the fucking admiral agenda when that happens? When he pulls
Notice
up
how-
next to Emu and he's like, "Yeah, this is my team."
Bro, we're
How
talking
many
about-
characters have
we're
we-
talking about
have we-
admirals? We're talking about admirals as if Green Bull didn't almost die to fucking Shanks Ryatsu from 50 million miles away.
Threw his hands up and said, I'm not about that
Suryatsu.
life. How many people on the world government side have we been introduced to since fucking Wano has happened that have been higher up in stature in the world government than the admirals? How many people on the pirate side have we been introduced to that are higher ranked than a Yonko? The answer is none at all, besides the pirate king who's literally going to be a Yonko turned to a pirate king, bro. None. The Yonko still reigns supreme on the waters, bro. But meanwhile, we got introduced to the Gorosei, then we got introduced to the Holy Knights, then we got introduced to the devil himself. You will be lucky if Akainu is a Sabo victim come end of series. bro.
I
Like,
need
you
him to
will
be a Sabo victim. I
I
need him to
need
say
him
that
to
my
be
fire
Sabo.
burns hotter than your magma. My love for my brothers burns hotter. And then punch him in the chest and turn him into a donut.
With
That's
blue flames
big.
after he awakens
Oh
the
yeah,
fucking-
he goes fucking, what's his face? Todoroki's brother. His flames burn too hot.
Tommy, bro.
Burns his hands.
Blue fire and just fucking in his chest, and it's like the will of Ace, like Ace. That's from Ace, bitch. And then he just walks away. Like that's my shit right there, bro. That's my
Ace, bitch.
shit. Yeah, people still think fucking Luffy versus Akainu is the final fight. Again, he's fighting the devil. I do not want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. Devil or lava.
Bro,
What are we talking about?
Lava's stronger.
Bro's just mad the Accuser wasn't trying, bro. He's just mad the Accuser wasn't trying.
He's just mad,
mad
dude.
he's really
He's just mad. He only showed up to do his Uber Eats order, and that's all he. He's fucking obligated
Stop.
to do.
You've been spending way too much time on One Piece Twitter if you just called it an Uber Eats order, bro. They post that shit every other day. Oh, look at the Uber Eats driver. Oh, your parents don't love you. I don't want to hear nothing about it.
McDonald's employee, dude. Did my boy Deku so fucking dirty for weeks till we got fucking 431.
Yeah.
Bro, just wait till Don Krieg comes back, bro. Bro, the Don Krieg level up is gonna be crazy, bro.
Bruh.
Don Krieg is emo.
What is Conqueror's Haki gonna do to his shield?
Triple the VVS's on his wrist.
There's spikes on this thing.
Oh my god. Oh, you have advanced Conqueror's Haki. You have Ryu. Don Krieg's got a gun. What are you trying to say? Don Krieg's got that thing on him, bro.
Victimizes the Naruto verse.
Bro, are you telling me in
Just with a
Boruto
bullet.
they have cell phones but no guns? I'm still thinking about that to this day.
I had a minigun that shot fireballs and not bullets.
That's true.
It didn't shoot bullets.
They have lightsabers but no guns. Like,
They got missiles too, but not guns. There was a gun in one chapter. It just didn't do anything.
Was there really?
Yeah, in like chapter 3 of OG Naruto or something on the cover, inside of a desk work, a shop of some dudes, there's a musket on the counter.
Damn.
I think
So-
it's just for shits and giggles.
bro, it's
He
foreshadowing,
solos the
bro.
Naruto
Essentially, yeah, 100%.
Wait, but how does a gun in Naruto turn into a Mihawk upscale? That's the real question.
Because guns have bullets that penetrate, but swords also penetrate because you can stab with
Yep.
a sword.
Yep.
So
Yep.
therefore,
Yep.
bullet
There we
equals
go.
Saber, saber equals sword, sword equals swordsman because man with sword equals Mihawk upscale equals buggy upscale equals crocodile upscale.
Mihawk
equals
solos
upscale.
Cook.
all of the U.S. military.
Also, anyway, you have a gun, and I saw Zoro in one of the episodes slice a bullet in half with his sword.
Mhm.
So because it goes back to sword over gun, then swordsman over gunsman, and then you have Zoro who's a swordsman who lost to Mihawk and got no diss by a knife, and that's Mihawk upscale. What I'm talking about.
And then Buggy survived getting cut by Mihawk, makes him a Buggy victim.
And then Buggy's got a shadow, so he makes him a Gekko Moria victim, but then Luffy beat Gekko Moria, so Gekko Moria's a Luffy victim, but then Luffy loses to Mihawk, so again, it just comes around in a
It's full
circle.
circle.
And then
It's
Luffy
full
loses to
fucking
Naruto,
circle.
which means that Naruto is the greatest swordsman, actually.
Naruto's the greatest swordsman. But then you bring it back to Naruto's got a shadow, so he's a Gekko Moria victim, and then the whole cycle
Infinite
starts
series of
over.
upskills.
Holy shit.
But then Naruto...
This is how we get
Paradox.
to multi-dimensional characters. This is how we get to say that characters are
No,
multi-dimensional, but then
some
they
people
get hurt by
unironically
a
scale like
punch.
this. Right, some
God.
people unironically scale like this, though.
Yeah,
then-
like that.
Naruto also broke cycles, so he's breaking the cycle of power scaling, so it means Naruto solo, so it's Naruto upscale, bro.
Which
What are we
means
talking
Naruto is
about?
boundless with immeasurable speed and fucking
Oh my
immeasurable everything.
goodness.
Some
Wait,
people
wait,
actually-
wait, but his
some people
daughter
actually
has
scale like
Kurama now. Now that's an upscale for his daughter.
Oof.
And then Kurama
He
had
said
to branch
type.
off.
He said type shit. He said type shit. He said the world was boundless, so if you can destroy the planet, that means you're boundless. And every planet above that is twice, so you're double boundless and then quadruple
It's
boundless.
twice.
But the Naruto planet is actually secretly the size of the galaxy, so actually.
But I've heard that the One Piece world Blue Planet or Blue Star is 4 times the size of the Narutoverse. So therefore,
Bro, you don't even need that. I saw a cover on One Piece where Naruto was in it, so they exist in the same universe, so the One Piece planet is also boundless because it's the same planet and they live in the same verse.
preach.
But I
Wait, but
actually
that's-
saw in a Ninja Storm background that actually the Naruto.
Then
There's
I
a
saw
nebula!
Nami's a
There's a nebula.
We're all fucked. It's all.
I
over.
saw it in the SBS that Luffy actually stepped out of the manga page and said, "This is the SBS segment." So Luffy exists in our world. So actually, Luffy scales up.
Dude, if he fourth wall breaks, I legit will like lose my fucking shit, bro. I will.
I'll poop.
That fan
I'll
art of
poop.
him stepping out of the page. Dude,
I could
I
definitely see that happening.
unironically lose my fucking mind.
He's gonna peel Blackbeard off of the manga page to go slap him around a couple times. Like
He's gonna
existing
throw
outside
him to the back of the volume.
It's gonna end. It's gonna end like that. The final page of the final volume is gonna be him like leaving the manga panel, and then that's it.
No, but I can actually see that happening though, because in OG Dragon Ball, Goku did like break the panel like with his Kamehameha.
But it was a gag at that point.
No, it was, but like you could, but like that, it's not like it's never happened before in manga.
We could have like a deeply intertwined, like Luffy is so free that he literally frees himself from the concept of fiction and the manga itself.
And TikTok would go. TikTok would implode in 24 hours.
And Naruto
If
fans-
that
In
happened,
two.
then
in
Naruto
2
fans
hours.
and Naruto fans would start unironically arguing that Naruto can do it too.
It's gonna be a scan somewhere. There's gonna be one post.
If Luffy broke, and then One Piece fans are gonna react back and no, wait, in this video game, and that's why XYZ, actually One Piece solo, so fuck off.
In 3D2Y.
Yeah, literally. All right, bitches. We actually went 8 minutes past our hour, so I think we gotta make this longer eventually, bro. I think we gotta eventually just bite the bullet and do it. Just like start at like an hour and a half, see if we can get carried over that sort of shit. Because I like yapping. You know what I'm saying? I'm just yapping.
Yeah.
A Yap Sesh is
Alright.
a good sesh.
Yap Sesh is a fantastic sesh. That is our time. That is Triple Next episode 22. Thank you guys so much for joining in and watching us. GolferGareBear, thank you so much for being our guest. We haven't had a guest on here in like 18 weeks at this point. So we appreciate you. We appreciate your knowledge. We appreciate everything. Don't forget to follow GolferGareBear The ad is right here on TikTok. Don't forget to follow all of us on TikTok. Don't forget to follow Triple Nexus on TikTok, on not Twitch, on TikTok, on YouTube, all that shit. Again, all the ads right over here. We appreciate you guys so much. Again, GolferGareBear, we love you, bro. Thank you for joining us.
Love you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely.
Anytime,
We
buddy.
will see you guys next week. I hope you take care. Have a great rest of your night. And don't forget Luffy solos, bro.
Stay safe.
Peace.